Hey everybody, it's Deanna, and I am here today with Tammy Shells of Transformation into Wellness. I am so excited to have you on, Tammy. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, tell me a little bit, what is Transformation into Wellness?
Well, it's a business that I started a year ago. It's all related to health coaching and wellness. Um, just decided I wanted to try some new things as I've been a nurse for 30 plus years. So just looking for some different avenues to help people.
Very cool. How do you help them? What exactly do you do?
Well, I have my health coaching. So what that is I do one-to-one sessions with people. Um, Primarily working with women is kind of my special group that I like to work with. Particularly women who just through chaos of life, taking care of everyone else, have kind of forgot about themselves and have developed some unhealthy habits along the way. So my passion really is working with them, trying to empower them so that they can get back into some healthy habits and not head down that bad road of maybe other diseases that I know no one wants to have to deal with.
Right. So when somebody decides to work with you, are you working with them on a meal plan? Or are you working with them on a fitness program, both, or something different?
It's actually a whole lifestyle approach that we look at. It's not necessarily a particular diet plan. It's kind of some clean eating ideas that works easy in their life. So we look at ways that we can incorporate meal planning, meal prepping at the beginning of each week. Again, just trying to automate things for folks. Again, everybody's busy. So trying to make it as simple as possible. Same with workout routines. We explore different workout routines because everybody has different likes of what they enjoy doing when they work out. For some people, they love running. For other people, maybe it's HIIT programs, cardiovascular programs, but really encourage everybody to also include some resistance training in their workout because that's extremely important.
So how do you know if they're really doing it? Like, do they check in with you? Like,
For accountability piece.
yeah.
Obviously, it's kind of on them, their responsibility. That's that part of that empowerment. But yes, we meet weekly, typically either phone call or Zoom call, and just kind of check in and find out how are you doing with your goals this week. And everyone kind of, I help them come up with what their goal is, what their priority is. So it makes it nice. It's not someone telling them what they need to do. It's them identifying kind of what are their priorities, what are their goals, what do they want to work on, turning those into some SMART goals so that they're achievable. And then each week talking about those goals and also identifying if there's any barriers. As soon as they're setting the goals, I'm kind of working with them and asking them, okay, what kind of barriers might you have this week that might interfere with achieving this goal? And we try to work, with that up front and try to work through some of those barriers. And then on the other side of that, what's going to help you succeed? So try to have all of those in place for them.
That is such a great point because even in business, as you know, we've got to set goals, or we should be setting goals. And it's true. And if you talk about those barriers or those obstacles first, then it's like, okay, so when this happens, how are you going to handle it? And you feel a little bit more prepared because you know what's going to happen, or it's most likely going to happen, right? And yeah, so you just feel like you've got a little bit more armor on that you can really battle that.
Yes.
What would you say is the biggest obstacle that people or barrier people will tell you about?
I think the biggest one for people is just not not letting things interfere with their schedule, especially like workout time. So looking at what time do we need to schedule that workout time so that other people's needs aren't becoming a priority over your workout needs. Because a lot of times, maybe a sick child or the weather got bad, so I couldn't get to the gym. kind of what other things can we do then if things like that, because they do, like you said, invariably things like that, bumps in the road happen. So what's our plan B if something like that happens, is the other piece of it. But I think that's the biggest one, is just kind of setting boundaries, I guess, with their schedule. Because, you know, people tend to want to help other people more than sometimes themselves. So
I'm not even gonna lie. There are some mornings, because I get up to go to the gym. We get up at 4:30 and we get there by 5. And there are some mornings that I am secretly hoping for a snowstorm or something, a barrier that's unmovable to avoid it. So, so yeah, and there has not been any so far. But and you know what though, honestly, like once I'm there, it's okay. It's just getting there. It's sometimes like, ugh, you know, but once you're there, then you feel great. And then it's like, oh, I'm so glad I did it. Like, I'm glad I went. And I'm not sure why that feeling doesn't always carry on every morning, because every morning it's like repeat, right? So, but that goes with changing habits, as you know, changing habits, changing behavior. And you know, there is resistance when we do that because it's not what we're used to.
right.
So you've been a nurse for over 30 years and you launched this and you are retiring soon, right?
Yes,
So
definitely.
exciting. Congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
I'm assuming that that's the reason that you've started this and kind of piggybacked it off of nursing.
It is definitely. You know, through my years of career in nursing, I've definitely seen kind of that other side of not taking care of your health, and kind of some horrendous stories, obviously, you know, with things that can be preventable. Diabetes, heart disease, strokes, all typically are related to our health style and our lifestyle. So when we take care of our health, kind of trying to prevent some of those things. And again, I don't know that in healthcare, we always kind of push that as much as we should. So that's really kind of what gave me the passion and the motivation to kind of pursue that. And then I had, you know, some of my own health issues too along the way. It was kind of a wake up call for me. It's been over 10 years ago, but had high blood pressure, definitely on the verge of pre-diabetic, was that typical nurse who was slugging down all kinds of caffeine and coffee and going to work and taking care of everyone else, not following up with my doctor's appointments like I should, taking care of my kids, and just again, just in that chaos of life, really developed really bad health skills myself. And you know, when I had that doctor's appointment and the doctor's like, listen, you're gonna have to go on blood pressure medicine, you're pre-diabetic, you got to make changes. And I walked out of there and I was only, I think 36, 37, and I thought, oh wow, I'm way too young to be having all of this going on. So I think that was the other push for me to kind of, you know, help other people before they get to the point.
Yeah, what a wake up call, you know, and I think, and I'll speak for myself, but I think that there are so many times that, first off, I mean, I feel like I'm still in my 20s. My body doesn't always agree with that, but mentally I think I am. And you kind of feel like you're invincible. And you know, realistically, you're not, because unfortunately we see so many people around us, people, our friends, our family, that have these health issues, you know, whether it was something controllable or whether it's something that was hereditary and passed down that's really not in their control. But we see it, but we think, well, that's them and that won't happen to me because we're invincible. I don't really know why we think we have this shield around us that protects us. But you've been able to, I don't know if able, but you've witnessed, unfortunately, people really struggling with health issues and how it's affected them. And gosh, so, you know, trying to relay that, to tell people to stop, you know, make these little changes, that has to be challenging, because like I haven't seen what you've seen. and how do you know how to get past that, to get people to wake up and hear your message? Like, I want to help you. Like, this is not about me. This is like, I really want to help you get on a better path. Like, how do
Right.
you do that? And at what point do you get their attention?
Um, a lot of health coaching, especially those initial sessions, initial talking with people, we use something that's called motivational interviewing. And so it is kind of getting them to recognize, okay, if I don't make changes, what's going to happen? Where's my path going to lead 10 years from now? It might not be this year or next year, but if I continue on the path I'm on, where am I going to be health wise in 10 years? Is that where I want to be, or do I want to be a healthy, vibrant person? So again, kind of using that motivational interviewing, again, reflecting back to the person, kind of what their values, their goals are, is really the biggest helper, because the person has to be willing to make those changes.
So going back to the business aspect of this, um, I'm guessing this was pretty easy. The transition is pretty seamless for you. Did you know this is what you wanted to do, or did you explore different ideas, like, what will I do when I retire?
I have probably played around with this idea for, oh gosh, probably 7 or 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Um, I've thought about it, and then I kind of put it back on the shelf, and okay, maybe after this, then I'll start, with my own business. Again, just I think some of those own fears of starting your own business have always been there. But yeah, I really had a strong desire to kind of change, I guess, change healthcare, change how people look at healthcare and taking care of themselves, and really getting them involved with their own well-being.
So when you've made it, and you're kind of like right in the middle, so it's like some of these questions, it's interesting, but like, what's your biggest challenge so far? I mean, are you really hitting any challenges, or is it pretty easy, or are you experiencing the same roadblocks that startups have?
Oh, definitely. Definitely hitting roadblocks. Absolutely. There's times where you have people that are interested, and then, it seems like you'll go through a spell where, there's no one out there right now. So just kind of finding that consistency with the business, I think, is the biggest thing, and probably the biggest challenge that I've noticed.
I love the name, Transformation into Wellness. I mean, that makes so much sense. Was that easy to come up with? Was it like right there, or did you like brainstorm?
That one actually came right to me for whatever reason. Just, again, helping people in that journey, that health journey of changing, of evolving into the best person they could be.
So you've always had like this desire for helping others and health,
Yes.
obviously, because you're in the nursing field. What's been your biggest victory? And maybe try to keep it within the business. I know the business is fairly new, but do you have one of those like huge victory stories right now? Or you do? Awesome. Oh, that's great. Let's hear it.
Yeah, definitely. I have a woman that I was working with, experiencing health issues, having some difficulties with motivation, but she did have the desire to make changes. And I worked with her actually kind of on and off on different goals that she's had over the past year. But in the summertime, she ended up running a half marathon.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's like truly an inspiration, considering, again, she's had multiple medical issues along the way too. So just to see the transformation in her and her health is just, that makes it all worthwhile for me. I say if I can, at least touch a couple people to help improve their health, even through like my Facebook group and things like that, I'm good. I feel good about it.
That is so exciting to hear. I mean, and I know when I work with people and help them with their business, when I see their victories, it's like a victory for me too. And I could see you're the same way, because I could see how when you're telling the story, your face is lighting up. Like, it's like that, you know, you're so proud of that person for doing it, for following through and making it happen. And congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
all.
Yeah, no,
And her.
those are the great moments. Like you said, when you see other people succeeding, that's what makes it all worthwhile.
Oh, that's exciting. I love it. I love it. So if somebody was thinking of getting into health coaching, because you do hear a lot of health coaching going on right now, a lot of wellness. Wellness, let's face it, is really popular right now. People are becoming more aware of pretty much everything, the foods that we're eating, the things that are causing us stress and anxiety, just better lifestyles of living. So we're always seeing wellness. So if somebody is thinking about doing this, what advice would you have for them?
I would say make sure you check out the programs that are out there, because obviously not all programs are kind of equal.
Mm-hmm.
I went through Well Coaches. I made sure that they were kind of a certified company, and it's one now that I have that certification. I can actually sit for my national certification, which
Oh,
is
awesome.
doing. So again, you just want to make sure that it's kind of a reliable coaching, because there's a lot of companies out there that say they provide a certification in wellness coaching, but I don't think they're all created equal. So
Yeah, I would agree. And I think there are some that just put health coach or wellness coach. I think there's a multi-level marketing company that if you join it, you're automatically a health coach. So
yeah,
you're not. You don't have that education, that background, in my opinion. Like you know, you need more tools. You need a bigger toolbox. And not just a one product solution. You need a lifestyle solution, which is what you're saying.
right.
It's a lot more than just a one product can solve. A lot of times it's in our head first, right? It's changing the way we think.
It is.
Before anything, and then putting the right place thing. And I'm not a health coach at all. I'm just trying to figure
So you kind of get the idea of the
yes.
mindset and the goals.
And I'm going through it. Like, I'm trying to live a better lifestyle. So I know it's more in my head than anything else. I know, like, I recognize when I'm stressed out, like, I want to eat something when I'm stressed. And it's usually like chocolate cake, which I don't have, luckily, but I'm just keeping it real, right? That's what I want when I'm stressed out.
Yeah. The emotional eating is one.
So if somebody wanted to work with you, how would they find you?
If you go to www.transformintowellness.com, that's my website. I have all my information on there as far as the different programs that I offer. I also have actually a lot of different ways to sign up for information. I try to do weekly newsletters, and then also I have actual free giveaways on the website related to clean eating, kind of exercise ideas, ways to reduce stress is another big one that I look at, and then sleep too is another big piece of that whole overall wellness. So
awesome. Well, Tammy, thank you so much for joining. Thanks for sharing your story and your business with everybody. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate you as a business owner, as a member of the Entrepreneur Society, and as a friend. So thank you so much for doing this.
oh, thank you so much. I was so thrilled and honored to be on your program. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, I will catch you later.
That's great. Thanks. Bye.